Hey guys, welcome to the CO visit. Colin here, and right over here, got my trusty coffee, and I'm gonna need it for this one. Lord knows it's true. Well, I'm gonna come back to my waking up story a little bit later. I have to do this out of sequence now because I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I have to give the people what they want. So we're gonna be very responsible. So Mr. Sean McAnthony came on a video and he made the comment that I know for a fact, all uppercase letters, that the Watchtower Society has the truth, all uppercase letters, and that Satan is blinding all of your eyes. Speaking of truths, yep, I'm going to go there. So, Sean, people ask me why I woke up. This is why. This is exactly why. So, Pontius Pilate asked the correct question. What is truth? You see, he had it right all along. What is truth? Watchtower truth? Well, how about this, Sean? Why don't you take a walk with me down memory lane, Watchtower memory lane, and let's look at some truths that they've produced over the past 100 and some years. So I've written them down rather crudely and messily, just like the way they came up with these doctrines, crudely and messily. And then later on, they had to get rid of them. So let's take a look here. And I've got these on pieces of paper. So here's the first one. C.T. Russell, Mr. Charles Taze Russell. 1878, the end of the harvest, as it talks about in the Bible. The angels are harvesting, putting their sickles into the earth. Was it the end? It was the end. This was biblical truth. Irrefutable. Oh, wait a minute. Also, Charles Taze Russell had to revise it in 1881. Oh, it wasn't 1878. Sorry, nothing happened. 1881 was the end of the great harvest. It didn't happen either. No end? Oh, no end. Here's the next one. Okay, also C.T. Russell. The end of human rule. 1914. Oh, we just love this date, don't we? 1914. End of human rule. The end of human rulership. That was going to be the end. The beginning of World War I. No end? Oh, well, we got a war. No end. And then, 1918. This is where the judge comes in. Judge Rutherford. What do you got to say for us, Judge? What do you got to say for us, Judge, other than your clean-shaven face? That would set the standard for the next 100, 14, 15 years. What did Judge say? The new terminus, the restoration of Zion. 1918. It wasn't 1914 because nothing happened. 1918. Oh, the end of World War I. Brothers got put in prison after his little letter to Hitler didn't quite work out. Did the end come? No. Nothing happened. Okay, here's the next one. This was another this is a jewel. This is the jewel, the ultimate jewel of the Judge Rutherford. The resurrection of the patriarchs, which would bring the end. The resurrection of the patriarchs, like Abraham and Jacob and Isaac and Beth Sarim. That's why he got donations from the brothers to build 2 multi-million-dollar mansions in none other than San Diego in the state of California. 1925. And he sat there, he loaded up Beth Sarim and his other mansion with booze, waiting to throw a big party for Abraham and Jacob and Isaac and all those other patriarchs, because evidently God said, wow, the weather in San Diego is so much like Israel and Palestine that I'll have them resurrect in San Diego, California, the US of A. And did it happen? No, it didn't happen. But you know what? Rutherford spent the rest of his days in the mansion that the brothers paid for the patriarchs. Well, someone had to live there, right? So fuck it. Okay? No end. Oh, we're not done yet? Oh no. Buckle your seatbelts, people. 1934. What happened, Judge? What happened, Judge Rutherford? Well, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society said in 1934, the number of the 144,000 was sealed. There were no more seats on the 144,000. Too bad. Sorry, guys. Doors are closed. No more 144,000. Just like in the 1950s when the Cosa Nostra Mafia closed the books. There are no more made men. No more made men right now. No more made men. And then all of a sudden, in the 70s, they opened up the books again. So I guess Jehovah was a mafioso, right? So 1934, no more 144,000. They're all sealed. They're all there. Oh, but wait a minute. Since nothing happened, they had to open the books up again. And so they started growing again. Yeah, because they figured out, also in 1925, I forgot to mention, in 1925, millions that are now living will never die. And that was including the generation of 1914, right? If you were old enough to understand the things that were going on in 1914, so you had to be at least 14, 15 years old, you would never die in this system of things before the Great Tribulation came. And then, in 1934, the number of anointed ones was sealed until the books were opened up again. And then more anointed ones. I guess we were wrong until we got to 1975. 1975 was the worldwide jubilee. Yeah, this was in the Watchtower since the 60s. Since the 60s. This was biblical truth, guys. Just like 1881, just like 1871, 1914, 1918, 1925, 1934, 1975 now. All of these were irrefutable biblical truths until they weren't. 1975, what happened? Everything points to, what did they say? What did the Watchtower say? Everything indicates, everything in the Bible, prophecies of old indicate that 1975 is the year of the worldwide jubilee, meaning that it was the end until it wasn't. And then when people got disappointed and left the truth, then it was their fault. Oh, they were impatient. They were interpreting things when they weren't supposed to. Oh yeah, like the governing body had nothing to do with this. It was in the Watchtowers since 1965. No end, okay? And then from there, what happened? What happened? Well, all the time I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, this generation of 1914 will by no means pass away. But what happened? What happened? It's 2024. It's 2024 now. So if you're still alive and you were alive in 1914, that means you're over 124 years old. They all died. They all died. Oh my God. What do we do now? Well, first of all, we get rid of the book study. No more book study. No more book study. Why? What was the book study for? The book study was to get us ready for Armageddon and for the Great Tribulation. When they confiscated all the kingdom halls and they took all of our literature away, we'd already be used to meeting secretly in our little book study groups. But since all that went away and all the people from 1914 died, there's no more urgency, so we just phase out the book study and nobody notices. Nobody said anything. And then what happened? No more ministry school. Get rid of the ministry school. But if you're still preaching, why would you have no ministry school? Why wouldn't you prepare people to go out in the ministry? It's because they knew what was coming in the future. They knew that the ministry would be reduced to nothing more than standing next to a cart and being on your iPhone, not talking to anybody. You don't need those skills anymore because you don't interact with anybody anymore. And not only that, they phased out no more time. No more time. No more counting time. Oh my God. Why? Because there's no urgency anymore. There's no reason anymore. They have no leg left to stand on. So, Sean, McAnthony, which one of those truths were you talking about? Could you clarify that for me? I'm not quite sure. Was it one of those truths? One of those old lights? Okay. And then what happened after all of that? The number of anointed ones started to go back up. It started to rise again. Since, oh, heck, the end's not coming. Well, we might as well ride that train again and get appointed when we're, 40 some years old to be on the governing body. No more counting time. Now, all of a sudden, the organization, back when I was growing up, it was, we are no part of the world. The world and its love and its desires are passing away. So we shouldn't be following the world. The world is temporary, and so are its viewpoints and opinions and hairstyles and dress and all that. But all of a sudden, now, according to the governing body, in their update on jw.org, we have to change with the world. The world's changing, so do we. Did I miss something here? And so with that, they decided now, all of a sudden, after 120 years, all of a sudden, although it was totally contrary to the Bible, there was never any biblical basis whatsoever other than it was a whim of Rutherford that men could have beards again. Men could have beards again. Sean, could you show me about the beards? Where was that in the Bible? Why couldn't we have beards in the past? You know we couldn't, okay? And then all of a sudden, women can wear pants to the Kingdom Hall and out in service. When you go up on, you go to the Kingdom Hall, you don't need a suit coat anymore unless you go up on stage. So, and then here's the other kicker. Because of the, hold on here, I'm on a roll. Because of the sexual abuse lawsuit in the state of Montana, United States, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society settled out of court with the victims. But before they did that, they registered that the congregation, the Christian congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, has a clergy class. And they claimed that the reason why they didn't report cases of child sexual abuse to the authorities is because they have clergy privacy privilege, clergy secrecy privilege. And the judge called them out on that and said, oh, really? But you're not registered that way. So they had to do it. And they said, under oath, in a court in Montana, yes, the elders in the congregation are clergy. Elders, circuit overseers, governing body members, all of them, we have a clergy class. They had to, because otherwise they didn't have a leg to stand on in court. They would have been liable. They would have been guilty for breaking the law, for not reporting sexual abuse to the authorities, which was mandated in that state. So what did they do? Instead of defending Jehovah, instead of defending Bible principles, no, what did they do? They went and hid behind a legal precedent, a legal loophole, clergy privilege, which is the same thing that the Catholic Church has and all the other evangelical churches and Protestant churches. So guess what, Watchtower? Welcome to the club. You're part of Christendom now. So, just Sean, where do the truths end? Where do they end? Where do they end? And you know what? All of those things, all that garbage that I just mentioned and threw away, just like the Watchtower Society threw away every single doctrine, old light, new light, old light, new light. That's not the problem. You can make a mistake 1, 2, 10, 50 times. Okay, hey, to err is human, right? But here's the thing I want you to focus on. They've also changed their mind on the blood policy, and they're going to keep changing it until it's eliminated completely. It'll simply be 100% a conscience matter. But they don't know how to do it yet. Because you know why? Because those changes that they've made, had they made them before, might have saved people's lives. Jehovah's Witnesses have died because of that false doctrine. And so here's the thing. Okay, so if those were just, if they're not lies, let's say in the best case, they're mistakes. And you know what? The governing body is always so big on humility, being humble, recognizing our mistakes, apologizing, searching, looking for peace for your brothers. Because you know what? The biggest thing is not reproaching Jehovah's name, right? Let's not reproach Jehovah's name. Let's not affect the peace of the congregation. So I ask you, how many times after all of those mistakes, okay, how many times has the governing body apologized for any of those? Have the words, "I'm sorry" or "we apologize" ever came out of their mouth? Has it ever crossed their lips? I'll answer it for you. No, not once. In fact, not only that, not only do they not apologize, just like in not this past one, but the one before, the of last year, the annual meeting of last year. Not only did they not apologize, they blame God. They say, well, some of us, they would like an apology, but it's not our fault. If Jehovah is revealing the light to us in this fashion, if he doesn't reveal something to us and then all of a sudden changes it, who are we to say anything, right? That's Jehovah's way of doing things. What a cop-out. See, that's in all of its glory. That is narcissism and it's gaslighting. Those, my friend, are the Watchtower lies. And there are more, but you know what? I've got limited time here. And I just got home from work. And I want to have some coffee. And I want to spend time with my family. Okay? So, thanks for joining the CEO Visit here today, guys. Colin Zafke here, Mentally Diseased Apostate, signing off.